Well, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Dear Goddess, you gorgeous, magical, angel, divine being, queen of the universe, because we all deserve a welcome like that. I am Kel Karuna, spiritual mentor, transformation coach, somatic healer, international speaker, and best-selling author, and also your host of the Dear Goddess podcast. I am so honored to have you here, and this is an extra special episode because this is my final episode that I am recording here in Bali. And actually, by the time you are listening to this, I will have already left Bali. So if you are new to my world and wondering what the fuck is happening, I have been living in Bali for the past 2.5 years, and my intuition is guiding me to leave Bali. I share more about this in a previous episode. So, if you want to learn more about the misconceptions of following your intuition, specifically that it doesn't always feel good, that's the episode for you. Because, yeah, this is definitely a bittersweet experience for sure. And I trust my intuition, I trust my next chapter, but at the same time, I love Bali so much. If I really lean in and think about it, it breaks my heart that I am leaving, and I'm actually kind of still in shock and disbelief that I am moving across the world once again in just a few days. I'm also in shock because I have not packed yet, but we'll talk about that later in the episode. So, my last week in Bali has felt so surreal. I feel like I'm still kind of in shock that I am actually leaving and not coming back, at least in the foreseeable future. Of course, I will be back to Bali. Bali holds such a special place in my heart, but I don't know when, I don't know what that looks like, and I'll definitely be a different version of myself. But taking that leap into the unknown once again, and it's exciting, it's exhilarating, it's scary, if I'm fully honest. Like, imagine being at the top of a mountain and taking a leap. I've done it enough times by now to know that the universe is going to catch me. But at the same time, I would imagine every time you go skydiving, you still probably feel a bit of that nervousness. I'm not sure. I haven't been skydiving, but it's like, the parachute's gonna catch you, but still you're jumping out of a plane. So I leave Bali on Monday. It is currently Saturday morning here, and I actually thought about not recording this episode. Part of me was like, go do all of your favorite Bali things, and it's okay if you miss a week. And I tuned into that, but it actually felt really important to record this episode, specifically because I want to remember it being my final episode that I'm recording in Bali. And also, it's really important to me to be able to share my heart and soul with you every single week. Now, that doesn't mean I'm never gonna take a week off. I might. In the past, I wouldn't have. I would have been like, I'm never taking a day off, no matter what. But I've definitely given myself space this past week to just be present with it all. And I really feel like I'm like in between timelines right now because I can feel this reality coming to a place of completion and closure and ending, but I'm not fully stepped into what's next. So it's just been a really, really interesting experience of being here, but also knowing that everything is changing and coming to an end, but also being fully present for what is, because there's been so much duality throughout this experience. And duality being we can experience everything at once. For example, when we are moving into a new beginning, there's also an ending. So we have perhaps the grief or the sadness that comes with the loss of the ending, and also the excitement of the new beginning. So, duality is part of the human experience. But at the same time, I've been really exploring this week, and duality doesn't really exist when you are fully in the present moment. And when you are just so open and so immersed in the present moment, yes, it's everything all at once, but it's not that conflicting sense of duality because it's like, I could be sad that I'm leaving, but also I'm here. Like I'm here, I'm sitting on the beach and I'm watching the sunset. And there's nothing to be sad about right now. If I think about that next Monday, next week, I'm getting on a plane and I'm not going to be here every single night. then yeah, that feels sad. But if I'm fully here and present in this moment, then there's nothing to be sad about. And I don't really want to spend my time here in Bali being sad about leaving Bali. That just doesn't make sense. And this isn't about avoiding emotions by any means. I used to be the queen of toxic positivity, like sadness and crying. No, thank you. Like, let's just be positive and high vibe all the time. And yeah, that was toxic as fuck. The goal is never to feel better, but to get better at feeling. And in order to do that, we need to actually feel our emotions and have a regulated nervous system to have the capacity to move and be with that energy. So this isn't about bypassing emotions. This is about just noticing your thoughts and noticing if your thoughts actually support how you want to feel. Because so often our thoughts are anywhere but the present moment. We're thinking about the past. We are thinking about the future. I really noticed this when I was surfing. And I'm so excited to do the episode on life lessons from surfing, but we're going to save that for after I leave Bali. I'm also going to do a whole episode. It might need to be like a series of lessons from my time in Bali because there are so many, so many. I wanted to record it today, but I'm like, no, that's going to be a journey to go on. And I feel like I need some space to really reflect on my entire journey here in Bali and to really reflect on the lessons that I've experienced. So I'll probably do that on the flight because it's a long ass flight. I can do a lot of things on the flight, but some of my favorite things to do on flights are sleep. I feel like some people are not able to sleep on flights. I can sleep amazingly well on flights, which is interesting because sometimes it can feel challenging for me to just like take a nap or sleep at random times during the day. But there are two places where I can always sleep no matter what, the beach and flights. So I love sleeping on planes and I love journaling on planes. And I also love, this is a really fun practice. I love playing this game. We can call it a game where you pull up your photo album on your phone and you go back to past years, but on that same day. So, for example, my flight is July 21st, 2025. I'm going to be looking at pictures from July 21st, 2024, 23, 20. I don't know. I don't have too many pictures before then, but yeah. And it's really powerful to reflect and connect with those past versions of self and to see how much your life has shifted, changed, and evolved. Those are some of my plane activities that I will be doing, and if I'm fully honest, I am not that excited about the flight. I'm not that excited about leaving, but I do trust that I am being guided exactly where I am meant to be. So I will be going back to the US to visit family for a couple of weeks and then going somewhere else. I am making another move, but I don't know when I will be actually moving at because I'm being guided not to plan. And as a recovering type A personality perpetual planner, that's actually gotten so much easier to just let go of the plan. It's truly amazing to not feel the sense of I need to micromanage and control my entire life. And when I first arrived in Bali, that was the exact opposite, where I felt like I needed to control everything. So that really says a lot. But yeah, I will be making another move probably in just a couple weeks. And that actually feels really good because, as I've mentioned before, the integration of anything is always the most important part. So it feels really good to not just be able to visit family, but to have some space to really land and to calibrate and integrate this entire Bali portal that I have been in for the past 2.5 years. But there's definitely been moments this past week where I'm just looking around and I'll be sitting on the beach like I do every single morning and every single evening. And I have all of my rituals that I do there. I have my Bali dogs there. They're beach dogs, but they are obsessed with me, two in particular. Probably because I give them treats, but I just love them so much, and I'll be, like, hanging out with them. One of them, her name is Blackie, that's what the locals call her, but I named her Mama, so I call her Mama Blackie. And then there's another one, he's so cute, his name is Sammy, again, named by the locals, I call him Papa. They were Mama and Papa to me before, I don't know why, they're not like a couple, but that's just what I called them, so he's Papa Sammy, and I'm, like, looking at them, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna miss you guys so much," like, Truly. In the past, I definitely would have been avoidant and closing off and like, let's not continue to bond and fall in love with each other because I'm leaving and we're just going to break each other's hearts. And now it's like, no, let's see how much we can love each other and just embrace every single second of it. And I feel like for the first time, I really understand that quote. I don't know who it's by, but it's something like, better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. And these two little Bali beach dogs, especially Mama Blackie, oh my goodness, like she showed me parts of my heart that I didn't even know were still holding on to pain and grief from the past and helped me open and just receive and give so much love. So that's been so, so beautiful. But yeah, as I'm going through my day to day and doing all of my favorite things, it's like, I'm not going to be doing this much longer. And again, staying present with what is and not future tripping. But at the same time, it really creates a different perspective and appreciation of the moment when you know that it doesn't last forever. But here's the thing, nothing ever lasts forever. Good news and bad news, nothing lasts forever. So, why don't we invite in this level of presence and appreciation for the moment in each and every moment? Not just when we're leaving or we're doing things for the last time, because honestly, you never know when you are doing things for the last time anyway. Like, there's going to be a time where you don't know it's your last time talking to someone that you love or care about. And oftentimes, you don't know when you are going to be experiencing something for the last time until it's already the last time. I'll give you some super, super basic examples of this that honestly aren't that significant, but they support the point that I'm making here. So, I had ClassPass while I was here, and I don't think that's just a Bali thing. Maybe they have it in the US and other places, but basically, it's like a membership, but rather than a gym membership, you get credits to use at all kinds of different places, not just gyms, but also spas and different wellness centers. But I was using it for workout classes and Pilates, and I decided to cancel it because it was about to renew like 2 weeks ago. And I was looking at everything I still wanted to do and experience while I was in Bali. And being inside at a gym, taking a workout class was not it. And also, just with things that I had planned, there wasn't a lot of space. So I'm like, I'm not really going to be using all of these credits. Let me just cancel it. And I've been doing workouts on the beach, which I love so much. I love outdoor workouts. It's a different style of workout than a gym workout. But at the same time, you get to be in nature and I get to hang out with my dogs in the morning and I'm on the beach and my feet are in the sand and I'm grounding and I just love it so much. So I canceled ClassPass. And then I'm like, oh, I was actually really loving those Pilates classes. And I didn't even realize that that last Pilates class I took was actually the last Pilates class I would take. So that's one example. And it's like, not that I would have like tried harder in the session, but maybe I would have been more present with the experience had I known that that was the last time, or if I was bringing in the perspective and awareness of this is the last time I'm doing something. Similarly with surfing. So I have been taking surf lessons with Komang, my surf teacher, but the last lesson I took with him, I didn't know was the last lesson I would be taking with him because he messaged me and told me that he was going on a holiday. And I'm like, "Oh, cool. Like, when are you gonna be back?" Thinking it would be for, like, maybe 1 or 2 weeks. This is about a month ago. And he said he's gonna be gone for 3 months. And I'm like, "Excuse me? Like, what?" So, okay, cool. When are you leaving? He's like, "Tonight." So I didn't even get to say goodbye to him. And I had no awareness that the last lesson was the last lesson I woulda that I got to take with him. And again, it's like maybe I would have shown up with more presence and really just gratitude for the moment if I had known it was the last time. But at the same time, just bringing in that perspective of it's always the last time allows you to cultivate that sense of appreciation. It allows you to show up with more intention because it gives it a bit more significance. Not to be dramatic about it, but we're also always doing thing for the first time. We're also always doing things for the last time every time because every time we show up for something, we're different. Every time I record this podcast, I'm different. Every time I go and drink my, well, I was drinking my matcha latte. Now my iced decaf almond latte, I'm different. So we're always doing things for the last time anyway because we're changing, we're evolving, we're experiencing it from new states and new points of view. And I personally love this perspective. And I've thought about it before and then I forgot about it. So this is yet another reminder. And it's like, how many times do you have to forget before you remember? That's one of the hardest parts about this journey as you're creating new paradigms and new ways of being. But I really just love the sense of presence and appreciation that it allows you to intentionally bring to each and every moment when you have this perspective of doing things for the last time. And I am doing things for the last time. And one of the things I think I'm going to miss most about Bali is just my entire life here. Like I love my life in Bali here so much, but also the locals that I have gotten to know. And I have a few beautiful friends that are staying here, but if I'm fully honest, I have outgrown a lot of the relationships that I had at different chapters in my Bali journey, and some of my other really close friends have moved. So I only really have a couple of close friends that are still here, and the other friendships just fell out of alignment. We just grew apart. And as that happens, I didn't really give a lot of energy into creating new friendships. I just gave my energy to cultivating the friendships that I had already created. And honestly, to just really pouring into myself and connecting with myself here and connecting with Bali because I knew I would be leaving and that's just what felt aligned for me. But there are so many locals that I see every single day, whether it's my surf videographer at the beach and the guys at the surfing rental place that I would go to, or everyone at my favorite coffee shop. My goodness, like the most incredible souls and the servers at my favorite cafes and the people I walk past on the street and even the transportation apps, Grab and Gojek, and you see the drivers driving around and I've gotten to know a few of them because I bought them like coffee and pizza and things like that. I'm gonna miss seeing all of these people and am just so grateful to have a place that I love so much that is so challenging to leave. I actually painted pictures for a lot of the people that I see like every single day. And I gave the surf videographer his this morning. And at first, I'm like, is this stupid? Like, are they just going to throw it away? I love painting. It's become one of my favorite things to do. I do it literally every single evening. It's part of my evening rituals. And I just love it so much, and I wanted to do something special to show my appreciation to these people that brought so much joy to my life each and every day just with their presence and energy and getting to know them, and I'm like, no, it's not stupid. I wanna share my love and share something that is special to me, so I painted all of these pictures and I'm gonna give them out, so that feels really special, and I basically have, like, 2 days left, and I still have yet to pack. It's amazing how much stuff you accumulate after 2.5 years, maybe even after 1 year. So I still have yet to pack, and I've been telling myself I'm gonna pack in advance so that way I'm not spending my last day packing, and that didn't fully happen, but I have spent time each day going through things because really I just need to decide what I'm taking with me and what I'm leaving. And then what I'm leaving is either just going to be thrown away because it's just garbage and not of value to anyone or anything, or perhaps there's some things that I could maybe sell or give away. My goal is to only have 2 checked bags. We'll see if that actually happens. I feel like there might need to be a 3rd checked bag because of the weight. I think more so than like the volume of things. I feel like the weight might be challenging, especially because I have 2.5 years worth of journals that need to come with me. Mostly because they are the first draft of my next book. That's how wrote my first book, How I Cured My Resting Bitch Face, Your Guide to Stop Settling, Fall in Love with Yourself, and Create a Life You're Obsessed with. I wrote it in my journals. I didn't know I was writing a book at the time, at least consciously. I think that the greater part of me knew that this would become something one day. But this time around, I have that awareness and knowing that I will go back and read my journals one day, which some people have mixed opinions on this. Some people say never go back and read your journals and actually get rid of them because that's energy from the past and you don't need it anymore. Like you released it, let it go. For me personally, I find it really, really powerful to go back and read my own journals. Not from a place of like I'm getting triggered and I'm spiraling and I'm going deep down into this portal. And sometimes you go there, and if that's where you're going, then that's where you were meant to be, but don't stay stuck there. Like, pull yourself out of that shit and move through what you're moving through. But I find it really powerful to go back and to connect on those past versions of self and past experiences. And I find it to be really supportive for integration. But ultimately, you do you. You do what feels aligned for you. But yeah, I have 2.5 years worth of journals, which are kind of heavy. And also, I'm so excited to read them. Not now. I'm going to give myself some space because that's part of preparation, not just for my own personal journey, but also preparation for writing my next book, which, spoiler alert, it's going to be about my journey here in Bali. I also have this big ass podcast microphone. If you're watching the video, you could see I'm holding it up right now. It's fucking huge and heavy. So, yeah, there might be 3 checked bags after all, and that's fine. It is what it is. But my intention is to get rid of as much stuff as possible. And I don't know why this has been the most challenging thing for me. The art of letting go. That's been one of my soul's toughest lessons in this lifetime. And it's kind of funny because I was living in Ubud, which is a different part of Bali, for about 2 years. And then I came over to Canggu, which is where I was when I first moved to Bali. So I could see all of this unfolding, and it's pretty divine how it all aligned. Canggu is how I entered Bali, and Canggu is how I'm exiting Bali. And I could see the orchestration of all of it. And it was very much a co creation of me and the universe. But when I moved back to Canggu from Ubud, it was a big move. I'm taking all my shit. And back then, I tried to get rid of stuff. And I don't know why the attachment and things. Actually, I'm lying to myself. I do know why it's challenging to get rid of things. It's not so much the thing itself, it's what it represents and what we're holding on to. And it still has these energetic cords. But I did get rid of quite a bit of things when I moved from Ubud to Canggu. And then I got to Canggu, and what did I do? I shoved all of that shit under the bed. And as I was doing it, I was laughing because I'm like, this is metaphorical as fuck. I'm literally just shoving all of my baggage under the fucking bed. And it was one, two, three, 3 bags. So I'm like, all right, we're downsizing the baggage, but I'm still shoving that shit under the bed. And where has that shit stayed all of this time since January? It's now middle of July. So what, like 7 months? It stayed under the bed. It's not stuff that I'm using. And for some reason, as I'm going through it, especially clothes, I'm like, oh, this is really cute. And I forgot how much I liked wearing it. Bet you wore it twice. I know it's brand new. Maybe you'll wear it again. And I brought a lot of stuff with me when I moved to Bali. I had no idea what Bali would be like, had never been to Bali, had no idea what I would be like, had no idea about the weather. I brought a lot of things that like just didn't even make sense to wear in Bali. I mean, you could wear whatever the fuck you want, but like a knit type of, not quite a sweater, but like a heavy fabric dress is probably not what you want to wear unless you really enjoy being hot. So I just brought things that I never actually even wore here, which means I haven't worn them in like 2.5 years. So clearly, not things that have an active role in my life. And yet, for some reason, as I'm going through them, I'm like, oh, but that's cute. And maybe I'll wear it again. And yeah, I'm not. I'm not going to wear it again. I know that. I have the self awareness to know that I'm not really going to be wearing these things again. And for some reason, it feels so challenging to let go of them. And I was speaking to a friend about this, and she mentioned Marie Kondo, I believe her name is. It's a book I have not read, but it's all about letting go and things like that. And I'm like asking myself, does it bring me joy? And I'm like, not right now, but it might. It might bring me joy in the future. And I want that joy. So then my friend shared something with me that I'm going to share with you because I found it to be so powerful. She shared how there's consciousness in everything. Not everything has souls, but there's consciousness in everything. So she's like, that dress that's been under your bed that you're not wearing, you're basically holding its consciousness hostage. And is that really like the life that you want to give this dress? Is that the life that this dress is meant to be living? Or is this dress meant to be worn and actually living and experiencing life, not just shoved in a bag under a bed somewhere? And I'm like, "Oh, fuck. I've been holding the consciousness of these items of clothing hostage. They don't wanna be in a bag under my bed or lugged across the world to go under another bed. They actually wanna live life." And I'm like, "Okay, maybe I'll sell some things." And then I'm like, "No, I don't even really wanna sell anything. I wanna, like, donate it. I just wanna give it to someone who needs it and will actually really enjoy it." So I was talking to my surf videographer this morning because I was giving him his picture and he was asking me if I've packed and if I have a lot of stuff. And I was telling him how I'm trying to get rid of things. And he was like, "Well, what are you going to do with it?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm going to try to donate it to someone." And he was like, "Maybe there are things that my wife might like." And I'm like, yes, that made me so excited. I'm actually so excited to go through my stuff again and to see what I can actually give because it's no longer about me and my attachments to the past and possibilities of maybe I'll wear this again one day. Oftentimes, the reason we don't get rid of things is because of what it represents and the associations that we have with it. But now that perspective shift once again changed everything because now it's not about me and my attachments. Now it's about what do I get to give? And I'm picturing his wife, who I've never met, wearing a new dress and feeling really good. So I'm actually kind of excited to go through things and see how much I can get rid of and specifically just give away with so much love. Because when we continue to carry things from the past and continue to have attachments from things from the past, it keeps us attached to the past, which makes it a lot more challenging to really embody who we are becoming. And if we are doing this on a physical level in the 3D realm, imagine what we're doing in other dimensions with our thoughts, with our beliefs, with our emotions, with our subconscious. We hold on to so much shit. I was in a mushroom ceremony once, and I'm going to save this entire story and journey for a separate episode, but I remember being in my subconscious and looking around and there was shit everywhere, like so much stuff. And I'm like, oh fuck, this is everything I've been holding on to. So I feel like that is part of the human condition, this tendency to hold on to things. And really, the art of letting go is what creates space for life to flow through us and to actually receive what it is that we desire. Visualize a closet, and this closet is packed full of shit. You've been holding on to everything that you've ever worn for your entire life, and you want a whole new wardrobe. Maybe that looks like that vision board that's on your wall and all the things that you put on there. Or maybe you want to create a whole new identity for yourself. And this metaphorical new wardrobe has nowhere to go. We have to get rid of things. We have to create space. And maybe it's easy for you. It has not been easy for me, but now I'm actually excited about it. And it feels like I am really ready to release the past and past versions of myself on deeper levels and release them with so much love. So, that being said, the more that we are able to create space, the more that we are able to receive. So, I am going to challenge you this week to release and let go of stuff in your physical environment. Maybe it's even just deleting old pictures on your phone. Maybe it's actually going through your closet and getting rid of clothes that not only have you not worn in who knows how long, but aren't really aligned with how you desire to show up in the world and how you desire to feel. That was another thing with a lot of the clothes I was getting rid of. Part of me was like, oh, they're cute. Maybe I'll wear them again one day. But at the same time, when I really feel into who I am becoming, it's like, I'm not wearing these clothes. Like, we need to let them go. We need to cut these cords to past versions of self and the past. But at the same time, that's where we tend to cling and grip and hold on. So I'm going to challenge you to release and let go of things in your physical space and to also begin to reflect on what you are creating space for, because that's where the magic and the possibility lives. So let's wrap this episode up. This is a short but sweet one because, as I mentioned, I am literally in my final 2 days of Bali and I'm gonna go do all of my favorite Bali things. I'm about to go have my iced decaf almond latte and go say hi to all of my favorite baristas. Usually, I'm always at the beach on sunset, having my cacao and painting and journaling and doing all of my rituals. But today, I am going on an adventure with the most beautiful soul that I met on the beach. Of course, not shocking. I meet a lot of people on the beach. She came up to me and gave me this piece of paper. This was probably a few months ago, and mentioned how she is offering tours for women. And I thought that was so beautiful to be creating your own business, but then to have this vision of wanting to offer experiences for female travelers, because as a female traveler, sometimes it can feel a bit intimidating, especially if you're a solo traveler, like going and doing some type of tour with a man. So I loved what she was creating. And also, it takes a lot of courage to walk up to strangers and share your services. And actually, truly so inspired by all of the locals on the beach who are selling their products, whether it's sarongs or rings. This ring, actually, if you're watching the video, you can see it, is from my friend Tuk Tuk. He is a local Balinese man and he sells his rings every day on the beach. He goes up to people, talks to them. Most of them tell him no. And I just watch him go up and talk to strangers, get told no again and again and again, and then gets a yes, and he'll sell a ring. And pride that he takes in all of it. I mean, truly, like just seeing him sit on the beach and like clean and polish all of his rings, like there's been like tears in my eyes because I'm like, wow, just such reverence. And it was so cute. One day I was painting and he came over and he started painting his ring case. And it had like silver painted and white on it. And he did blue outline. And it was one of the most magical moments. And then there's all the women selling sarongs and different bracelets. And there's all kinds of people selling things on the beach. And I'm so inspired by them and how they just go up and talk to strangers and get told no and just have the confidence to do that. So I messaged the girl after and I told her how inspiring it was and how I'm so excited for her to build her business. And she mentioned that that was actually her first day going out and doing that and how much it meant to her to have that support. And I've been wanting to do a tour, a little adventure with her ever since. But now I'm like, oh, there's not that much time. This was actually something else I've been reflecting on this week. We tell ourselves that we have time, and we do have time. We don't need to create scarcity or lack with time. But at the same time, we always tell ourselves we have time and we put things off. And as I was reflecting on all of the things I still wanted to do in Bali, I'm like, oh, I thought I had time. Like, why did I put them off? Why did I wait to do the things that I really wanted to do? So, another invitation for you. You get to decide how to reply to these invitations and challenges. Like, RSVP as you wish. Yes, no, maybe not now. Do something today that you've been putting off and telling yourself that you have time. Because yes, while you have time, why are you waiting? What are you waiting for? I don't want to say it's a regret because it's definitely not, but it's something that I realized I'm like, oh, I still wanted to do all of these things here in Bali. And I'm like, okay, I'll do them next time and actually prioritize doing them because of course I'll be back to Bali. I just don't know when. But we tell ourselves that we have time. You know, I wanted to go shopping. That's not true. I did not want to go shopping. I don't love shopping. Some people really love the experience of shopping. I'm not one of those people. It's just not that fun for me. I'd rather be on the beach. I'd rather be doing something different. But that being said, I enjoy having things, which just means I need to have a personal shopper. But yeah, I wanted to get like a new bathing suit and rash guard for surfing and maybe a couple of cute outfits. And I kept putting it off mostly because I didn't want to do the whole shopping thing. And also because I was telling myself, well, I have time. And now it's like, bitch, you don't actually have time. Like, this is a reality where there is a limited amount of time and you can actually expand time based on your own energy and how you're showing up for it. But yeah, moral of the story is we tell ourselves that we have time and we put things off and then we often end up not doing them at all. So do it now. don't wait. So I am doing it now. I'm going on a little adventure and she's taking me to a temple. So that'll be really special. And I'm so excited because she's never had cacao before, but she's seen me have my cacao ceremonies on the beach many times. So she's going to be taking me on the tour to the temple and I'm going to be bringing cacao and doing a little cacao ceremony for us, which just feels really, really special. So let's wrap this up for real this time. So when this episode is released, I will have already left Bali. I will be back in the US, and the next episode that is recorded will be recorded back in the US. Actually, that might not be true. I recorded an episode yesterday with a guest and it was here on Bali, and I'm so excited for you to hear this episode. It's a really incredible guest. The conversation was so, so powerful. So we have one more Bali episode after this. It's been a beautiful chapter. It's been a beautiful journey. I'm still going to be talking about Bali forever because Bali holds such a special place in my heart. And we still got to talk about surfing and the life lessons and the portal of transformation and healing that Bali was. So if you're like, when is she ever going to stop talking about Bali? I'm not. I'm not. Yeah. So if you enjoy hearing about Bali and you enjoy hearing about my adventures in life on this journey of self love, self discovery, healing, and transformation, then you're in the right place. And if you are looking for support on your own journey of healing, spirituality, self love, and transformation, especially if you are either post breakup, navigating some type of challenge or adversity, that is my expertise. Helping you take really challenging situations and circumstances and use them as a portal for transformation and fully reinventing yourself and your life. If you are looking for support on your journey of healing and transformation and self love, then the link is in the show notes to learn more about my coaching programs. Don't forget, we have the review contest for the rest of the month. July 1st, I will be selecting a winner. Just by leaving a review, you will receive access to a masterclass of your choice as appreciation for your support. And then I'll be selecting 2 winners to receive a free session with me. And then we have the weekly journal prompts and embodiment rituals that I send out for every episode to support you actually making shifts and changes in your life and to integrate the topics that we are discussing and the conversations that we are having on this show. So thank you for being here. It truly is such an honor to be able to share this with you. And I love connecting with you. So send me a message on Instagram. Let me know how this episode resonated with you, what your favorite takeaway was. Until next time, sending you so much love.